Members of the press, I welcome you to this press conference, and I hope you are doing well. We call this press conference after we met the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe Governor, Dr. Mangunja, yesterday to express our concern and misgivings over the introduction of the bond notes and to also hear his side of the story. We also wanted to impress upon him the need to reconsider such a move, considering the implications it has had on confidence on the economy. The government, through the RBZ, introduced the performance-related export bonus scheme of 5% to be awarded to exporters of goods and services to ostensibly address the challenges of low productivity and promote exports in order to improve liquidity in the economy. We are told that this export incentive scheme in the form of bond notes will be backed by an offshore 200 million counter-cyclical facility from Afrexim Bank. The RBZ says the bond notes will be gradually released into the economy in line with the export receipts through normal banking channels up to a maximum ceiling of the facility, 200 million, which will be attained when exports are around 6 billion. According to the government, the expectation is that bond notes equivalent to around 75 million will be in the market by the end of December 2016. As announced in 2016 midterm monetary policy statement, the bond notes we are made to believe will be at par with the US dollar 1-to-1 and will be used and treated in the same manner as bond notes. Let me point out that the governor made it categorically clear that the bond notes are a done deal and that there is no going back on the issue of the bond notes. Therefore, the ZCTU agreed to differ with the governor. We believe that bond notes do not address the structural challenges and fiscal indiscipline and corruption which are at the heart of the underperformance of the economy. There is need for a holistic approach to the problems the country is facing, not this piecemeal approach. This holistic approach should be underpinned by social dialogue. The RBZ approach is also not complemented by fiscal and structural policies. The ZCTU would like to reiterate that even at the best, the injection of 200 million will not be able to address the liquidity problems the country is facing. The US 200 million amounts to only 3.4% of banking sector deposits of USD 5.913 billion as at the end of December 2016. Only amounts to 1.3% of banking sector deposits. Hence, given its size, it will not fill the fiscal gap and restore the RTGS and nostro balances misappropriated by government. The announcement to introduce bond notes resulted in a run on deposits, externalization, and withdrawal of deposits from the banking system, as it fed on past experiences with the Zimbabwean dollar during the hyperinflationary period. Bond notes have affected confidence in the financial sector, and they are a threat to the sustainability of the financial sector. Bond notes further fuel mistrust and perception of the return of the Zimbabwe dollar. Bond notes cannot be traded outside the country, impacting on the ability to import and meet external liabilities. Given general liquidity shortages, bond notes will result in a parallel market that's eroding its value. In view of the shortages of liquidity in the economy, firms will struggle to meet import requirements of the economy, creating shortages and upward pressure on prices. By targeting the general public in the awareness campaign on bond notes, the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe gives the impression that this is a new currency masked as an export incentive. If it is targeting exporters, why then include the general public? Bond notes give a false sense of choice, and yet given the shortage of US dollars, it becomes the only currency in circulation. That's the Hobson choice. There is also no guarantee that the printing press will not work 24 hours, printing bond notes. There are also uncertainty with respect to what will happen when the export incentive facility is exhausted. Furthermore, the RBZ is advocating for the use of plastic money. While the ZCTU embraces the technological development, it is concerned with the high cost of bank charges when using plastic money, as people have to pay costs per each transaction. In addition, the informal sector that accounts for 95% of the economy does not use plastic money. The ZCTU is also concerned by the lack of uptake in terms of plastic money usage by government departments, including at police roadblocks, which therefore necessitates the need to have real cash holdings. The Finance Management Act stipulates that Parliament must approve any loan that the government receives, yet the RBZ went ahead to get a loan without parliamentary approval. That is the way forward. In our engagement with the Reserve Bank governor, the governor admitted that there were no consultations before the introduction of the bond notes. The ZCTU believes that the country is lacking in policy dialogue. It is in this vein that we are proposing for a policy dialogue involving all stakeholders to map the way forward. We cannot allow this circus to continue. Thus, ZCTU is convinced that it is only through social dialogue and a social contract that the much needed fiscal discipline, prioritization, and improved quality of expenditures, as well as navigating policy conflicts, can be achieved in the national interest. The Kadoma Declaration, which was formally adopted and launched by the state president in 2009, can help address the persisting country risk factors. It correctly outlines what each social partner is expected to do in order to reverse the downside risks that accentuate country risk challenges. Some useful protocols were also signed long back on the Kadoma Declaration. The principles guiding the TNF, productivity enhancement, among others, that should form the basis for further discussion. We are also proposing the adoption of a rand-based export incentive in view of the fact that South Africa is our biggest trading partner, because we believe that bond notes will not in any way help Zimbabweans, as the cash crisis is a symptom of a more complex and a bigger problem. The ZCTU is currently mobilizing workers and Zimbabweans into action against the bond notes. The form, time, and date will be communicated in due course. We also support any form of action against bond notes proposed by civic society and any other like-minded progressive forces in Zimbabwe. Once again, thank you for coming.